Hey guys, what? Is it Saturday already? Gentlemen, ladies, geeks of all ages, I'm Brian Hazard. This is your Saturday Spasm with Gamerati. Today I want to talk to you about a fantastic Viking game of worker placement and dice chucking known as Champions of Midgard by Gray Fox Games. I really like this game and we've had quite a lot of fun playing it, so I wanted to show you a bit of it and see if you would be interested. The only downside is that there was recently a Kickstarter for the expansions to this, and I really should have gotten in on that so I could go all in and have the best experience. But I didn't, and that's a shame. I wonder, though, what it would have been like if I had. Let's get ready to spasm! Happy Saturday, Board Game Geeks. This is Brian Hazard here for your Saturday Spasm on Gamerati. I am excited. Why am I excited? Ask me. Let me hear it. Yes. Yes, I'll tell you. Because they just recently shipped all the good stuff for the Champions of Midgard Kickstarter for the expansions for Champions of Midgard from Gray Fox Games. And I got mine last week. And there's been so much going on, I haven't even had time to do videos for all the things that I want to talk about. But I really want to talk about this one. I've had the unique opportunity. It's not that unique, actually. I just did the work, and I'm all in on Champions of Midgard. So, this is the base game box, but if you participated in the Kickstarter as a only opportunity Kickstarter exclusive, you get, BAM! This bad boy right here, the Champions of Midgard Super Box, Ultimate Mega Box 3000. It's not what it's called. This is a box that will hold the Champions of Midgard base game and both expansions that were available in the Kickstarter. If you wanted, you could get one or the other, and they would come in their own separate boxes. I don't know what those boxes look like, because this one is more awesome, and this is the one I got. Or if you went all the way in, you could get both expansions. There is also lots of other cool little promos and stuff that I'm going to show you, because I got it all of the stuff, all the things. All right, actually, all the things aren't in here. There's one thing over there, but I'm not going to show you yet. Let me show you what's going on here. Champions of Midgard is a worker placement, dice chucking Viking game where everyone is competing to be the next Jarl of the village. You're fighting the troll that's banging down the doors of the village. You're fighting the Draugrs, I think they're called. I'm like Norwegian. I should be able to pronounce these better. The Draugrs are attacking the villages outside of your village, like the small towns, so they'll pay you gold to fight them off. And you can, like, shame other players. They're called blame tokens, but we call it troll shaming. By being the one that actually goes and fights the troll, and other people have to take blame as a result. You can get on boats and Viking across the oceans to fight monsters and gain lots of glory, and at the end of the game, whoever has the most glory is the winner. And you fight by chucking Viking dice with little icons on them. These expansions add a few new cool features, and I'm going to show you those real quick. Just so you know, if you did the Kickstarter, you get some extra promos. One of the things you get is this crazy boat, a longship, which is actually a huge rooster. Just like in real life, the rooster, the Vikings rode giant roosters. This one's called Gullinkambi. He lives in Valhalla. He's been equipped with a howdah and to carry brave Viking warriors. So he carries warriors. How about that? Anyone? No? Okay. These are the two rule books. Just kidding. These are the two rule books for the two expansions that came in the Kickstarter. So you've got the Valhalla expansion and the Dark Mountain expansion. So the Dark Mountain expansion is awesome because it adds a fifth player to the game. It also adds a new type of warrior called archers that come down from the mountains. Their intent was to come down to the mountains and help you defend your village, but they got captured by Berserkers. And I swear to God, that's how it's spelled. Bergerisar. Berserker. My love for you is like a truck. Berserker. So there are some new characters, some new cards and stuff. So now you can fight Berserkers. The Berserkers have journey cards just like the monsters across the sea, so you never know what's going to happen on your way there. It's usually going to be you risking some money. However, when you defeat them, you're usually rewarded with archers that have been captured and kidnapped by them, and you can bring the archers back to your village to use them to fight. The archers are green dice. They're also extra good at hunting, so you get more food, possibly more food when you go hunting with them. And you get a fifth player, which is really cool, so you're able to juice the game up a little bit. All right, here you go. Yeah, so this is the extended stall board. So if you use this, and you're setting up, people are going to tell you to quit stalling. It's bad today. It's bad today. This is where you can put additional market stalls when you have 5 players. Another nice add-on was the beggar chit. You could always beg during the base game by taking a blame token and 1 wood resource. Now they've made it a building that's on the board so people don't forget that they can do it, and you can take any resource of your choice, which is either wood, food, or gold when you go begging. So they've given you a tile to make sure that you have that. They've added a number of cards to all the different decks that were already in the game, so that's really cool. That's expansion number 1. That's the gist of expansion number 1. The next expansion is the Valhalla expansion, and I like this. The makers of the game said that they were listening to the feedback from people that have played Champions of Midgard, and one of the things that can be really awful is that if you have some really lousy luck rolling the dice and you find a card that's a journey card that ends up being an awful journey card, you lose some food, you lose some guys, then you lose the fight against the monster, all your dice are gone, you don't have any food, and now you're kind of set back in the game. And the Valhalla expansion, expansion number 2, helps to kind of address that. Once you have the Valhalla expansion, every time one of your dice gets killed in a battle, you get a sacrifice token. We tend to call them ghosts or spirits or souls because sacrifice token has too many syllables. And so if I have a black die that dies in combat, I get a black sacrifice token, and they build up gradually in this little burial tile that you keep next to your character card. Your character, that's not a character card. So you got your character card, and your burial tile goes right next to it. And you can build up a supply of those souls or ghosts or spirits or whatever they are. And then eventually you can use them for, on this new board that comes with the Valhalla expansion. The new board for the Valhalla expansion has a spot up here for epic monsters. These are monsters that can only be defeated by the souls of the dead fighting in the afterlife. Can we just take a moment to acknowledge how good that sounds? So good. That's what happens here. So you just trade in the tokens after any time you commit to combat. When you complete a combat, win or lose, you can spend sacrifice tokens in order to defeat an epic monster, and they'll give you victory points, glory points, but they will also give you a bonus that says, for example, one of them is additional 4 points for every troll you beat once the game is over. So they are nice little modifiers that add on to the game. You can use the souls of the dead to get your hands on some of these Valkyrie Blessing cards, and these are cards that give you bonuses for the rest of the game. They give you extra dice. There are more dice. With this second expansion, you have these dice. So you have Shield Masters. We call them Shield Maidens because it's Vikings and it sounds right. You've got the Berserkers, right? Berserkers are pink dice, and there were some complaints about the pink dice. I don't understand why. It's clearly a pink dice with pom-poms. It makes total sense. Berserkers are super tough, and they hit really hard in combat, but if you lose anybody to combat, Berserkers are always the first to die. You must kill them first. Shield Maidens are awesome because they have sides that are a combination of hits and shields. So 3 out of their 6 sides have shields on them. So they're a lot more likely to block damage from the monsters. So now the game has tons of different warriors that you can recruit, which is awesome. Oh, and I didn't mention the blue dice. You see there's some blue dice in there, and the blue dice are now the leaders. Every character in the game now has a extra ability that goes, this is not the right ability for this guy, but I'm just showing you how it works. It goes above your board, and you have a leader die, and you put it on there, and during the game, every time you fight, you can commit that leader to one of your fights. If you roll the Viking helmet thing, then his special ability will go off. He can't die, but if he's defeated in combat, he kind of goes off, and I like to just put him in the burial ground. He's not dead, he's hanging out. And in order to get him back, you have to get one of the Valkyrie Blessing cards that allow you, I just happen to pick one, that little horn thing. If I were to spend 3 souls, a red, a black, and whatever I wanted, I would get 3 resources, and I would be able to bring my leader back from his grievous wounds, and he would be back into the fight. So that is the primary, those are the add-ons that come as a result of the Valkyrie expansion. There are more buildings. There are a lot of cool Kickstarter stuff. What are we doing? We're not talking about the Kickstarter stuff. That's why I'm so excited. So one of the things you get as a result of the Kickstarter are Viking meeples. This game originally had, you know what, I have them right here, I think. The tubbiest little meeples I had ever seen, yes. My friends and I had gotten to calling these Obeeples, because we thought they were much tubbier than Carcassonne, and they have tiny heads, if you can see that. So we called these Obeeples, and we'll miss the Obeeples, but that's okay, because as a result of the Kickstarter, we now have Viking meeples, which is way more appropriate. And instead of little round discs for score tokens, now you have Viking helmets to count your score, which is awesome. It gives you more merchant ships, which is a place where you can place your workers to get things and stuff, so you get more variety. You get more journey and land cards. There are additional journey cards that are put in to give you more variety in those decks. I'm not done, there's more. I did the upgrade. There's wooden upgrades you can get for everything. So this is the gold that came in the base game before the upgrade, and then now we have gold after the upgrade. So you've got nice, big, thick, chunky gold pieces. This is the food and the wood. Before the wood upgrade, they were little red and brown square cubes, and to be honest, for we who are a little colorblind, these are hard to see. Now we have actual little pieces of food and wood that are surprisingly strong for despite how thin they are. Like if you look at this, it's super tiny. It's super thin. Like compare it to my mustache. My mustache might be thicker than the drumstick bone of this dirty Viking meat. It's probably delicious. And the wood then actually looks like little bits of wood, which is awesome. So this is a good improvement. Then instead of these little tokens for wounds for the monsters and your turn order, we don't need those anymore. We'll use that when we have these beautiful wooden bits that replace those. Here's like the little wooden blood drop, blood. And here is the round marker. Now the round marker and the gold came with a sheet of stickers for me to put on. So it was like a little arts and crafts. That was fine with me. I enjoy that. I love it. I would do it again. And what else? Oh, the favor tokens, the glory horns, were originally these little hexagon things with pictures of horns on them. Nothing wrong with that. Perfectly fine. Bam! Much improved wooden favor tokens that now are these awesome little bananas with a stand that you can use. They don't work. They don't do anything. Also, we replaced the blame tokens. The blame tokens were squares with little trolls on them like that. That's okay. Nothing wrong with that. It's good. You gotta keep those production values, production costs down. Bam! Upgrade tokens. Now you got these fantastic little trolls with faces. I put the faces on them. Before I did that, they were faceless like the Benicio del Toro thing, but I fixed it. You can also get some promo cards, which I've already gotten. There's one that is a troll that has the heads of the guys from Dice Tower, and now going to be awful and forget their names. They are Z, and the subtitles right here are indicating the name of the people who I'm forgetting right now. You do get more players. All the add-on bits from the expansions give you more players, more cards, all of that. What's really cool is that the game wasn't that hard to begin with, and none of this adds to the complexity of the game. If you're a gamer that is familiar with gaming in general, with concepts like worker placement and dice rolling and that sort of thing, dice rolling. If you're familiar with dice rolling, or maybe you've never heard of that, then this is not going to be very complicated for you. But if you want to be all in, then you need the ultimate cherry on top, which is the ability to not need any of these boards at all to play. You could skip using all these boards altogether if, blah, 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 you have, put that over there, this bad boy. This is the biggest game mat I've ever had, and it's really cool. Not saying it's the biggest that's out there, it's just the biggest one I've had. For a little bit more, you want to get all in, you've got this fantastic mat that shows the base game board. Can you see that? And all of the expansion boards all on one fantastic mat. Let's do it like it's the credits. And I like this too because in the instructions they say when you're using the expansion maps, you know, it says place it off to the side, but there really is no room for the side. This is great. I've already played it twice with my friends. We're never going back. I actually introduced the game to two people who had never played before and included all of the expansion bits. Now granted, these are veteran, seasoned gamers, but it didn't faze them, and they had a hard time understanding what the game would be like without these added on pieces, the sacrifice tokens to make up for when you lose dice, and the variety of things that you're able to do now, and the variety of dice that you get to have because of all the new dice that you get to throw during the game. So, that is it. That's our Saturday Spasm. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. I do videos on Game Spasm semi-frequently, so you can go check me out over there, and be sure to, stay tuned. Subscribe to Gamerati, get all your news and all your game fixes all week long. This is Brian Hazard, and I will see you guys on The Geek. Take care. Yeah, that would have been amazing. Well, maybe next week will be better. We'll just cut this short. Until next week, you can find me on Game Spasm, or you can find me here every Saturday for your Saturday Spasm on Gamerati. This is Brian Hazard. I will see you guys on The Geek. Take it easy.